Hey friends, Dr. Nixon here. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Hey, no, we're running a few minutes late. I apologize, that's my fault. We had some technical things, but we're up, we're running, and we are excited to talk about heart health. This topic is near and dear to my heart, no pun intended. But really, it honestly is heart health, cardiovascular health. We're going to talk through that. So if you know anybody who's been diagnosed with heart issues, heart disease, maybe someone who's had a heart attack or a stroke, share this information with them. You can hit the like button if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. You can comment in there, tag someone that you love and care about. This information has literally changed my life. Hundreds of patients who have come through our office have seen incredible changes and results. But it's actually changed my father's life. He is the reason I do what I do and how I got into health and chiropractic. And heart health was an important part of his journey, his health journey. So I'm excited to walk through this powerful information with you guys. We have a lot of practical tools and information in here. My goal is that you'll be more educated and empowered by the end of this than you are right now when it comes to heart health, including things like prevention. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Don't forget that. It's important to take care of our heart. So let's jump into it. We're talking about, again, heart health. We're also going to dive into high cholesterol issues. And really, when you look at the CDC and what they say about heart disease and coronary heart disease, it's currently the leading cause of death in the United States. It's been that way since the 1920s. So heart health is important. We know there's things that we can do. We know the majority of heart issues, things like high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, congestive heart failure, are lifestyle diseases, meaning you lifestyle your way into it. The empowering part is you can lifestyle your way out of it. And this guy right here is proof of it. That's me as a kid. That's my mom. And that's my dad. So my dad in his mid-40s had back-to-back heart attacks. He went through open heart surgery, quadruple heart bypass. He did not get that way by eating right and exercising. He got that way by smoking several packs of cigarettes a day, being morbidly obese. My parents owned businesses and we ate a lot of fast food. I grew up on a fast food diet. So even for myself, I've come a long way in making lifestyle changes. But after my dad's second heart attack, that's the one that really woke him up and said, all right, I've got to do something different for my health. And I'm so grateful that he did. He changed the way he ate. He changed the way he moved. He started taking different nutraceuticals and supplements to help him. He lost 100 pounds, chiropractic care, mindset, all the different protocols and 5 essentials that we follow. Quit smoking, made a lot of changes. And in literally a year, my father reversed every single diagnosis, got off every single medication, and I got my dad back. But the way he even talks about it, the first change he had to make was here. You have to make a decision for your health and for your life that you're worth it, because at the end of the day, you are. Why? Sometimes it's for the person in the mirror looking back at you. Sometimes it's for your family. It's for your kiddos, your grandkids. I want to be the cool grandpa one day. I had a patient recently. She's like, if I feel this bad at 40, I can't imagine what I'm going to feel like at 60. I'd rather just make the changes now. And they're not easy. They take effort, they take work, they take changes, but you're worth it. You can do it. My father did it. We have thousands of patients who are doing it. Start with baby steps. You don't have to be perfect. It's not about perfection, but it is about progress. So let's walk through some heart health tips. And I'll tell you what, if you're out there right now, whether you are in Winston-Salem or you're somewhere across the country and you know that you have some health issues, specifically heart-related things like high blood pressure or high cholesterol issues, and you want some more one-on-one help, I do these consultations on the phone every single week. If you're a patient of mine, these are open to you always, and I'll give you specific next steps for what you're working on with your health goals. But if you're not a patient and you're curious, about chiropractic care, how that affects the heart, different nutrition things that you can do to lower high blood pressure, you want some more specific one-on-one time, I'd love to give that to you completely free. It's one of the ways I love to just give back and serve and ultimately just want to empower you with your health. So find that link. We'll post it in the comments right now. Just click it, find a time. I literally do them every week. It is my joy to serve you. Your job and next step is just to reach out for help. And then your next step is follow the action steps that I give you. So do that. Find that link, find a time. All right, let's do it. 10 ways. If you're taking notes, write this down. 10 ways. How many? 10. 10 ways to heal and strengthen your heart. Your heart can heal. Did you know that? Your heart's a muscle. Your heart is a muscle. Broken hearts can heal. Enlarged hearts can heal. Hearts that deal with high blood pressure can heal. Your heart is a muscle like other cells and tissue in your body. They regenerate. They heal. Your body is in the business of healing. It's the way God created it, and these are steps and tools that you can do to help them. First one right here, heart-healthy foods. The red ones, the first two right there are red foods. Can help the body and the heart heal. Pomegranates is number one. Pomegranates is loaded with antioxidants. It's one of Lincoln's favorite foods. Lincoln's my son. He's 3.5. He will eat pomegranates literally every single day. Lots of antioxidants, good for the heart. You can also find pomegranate juice. Pomegranate juice, it's a little bitter, maybe a little sour, but has a lot of good nutrients in it. Red peppers. Red peppers are loaded with vitamin C. C as in cat. Vitamin C is another antioxidant, and it also is really good for the heart. Things like beets, we're going to talk about that later, but beets are a vasodilator. They help to open up the arteries. Grass-fed beef. Again, these are things you want to start adding in to your lifestyle and into your diet on a regular basis. Grass-fed beef, you want your cow beef to be fed grass. Grass-fed beef actually has a compound in it called CLA. CLA stands for conjugated linoleic acid. It also has ALAs in it, alpha lipoic acid, which is one of the most powerful antioxidants for your heart. The next one here is turmeric and curcumin. This is the most researched root on the planet, and it has effects that help combat things like depression, arthritis, even autoimmune arthritis and pain, but it's also a very, very powerful anti-inflammatory. So getting turmeric or curcumin into your diet, it's one that you can supplement with curcumin. I'll take that as needed. Curcumin is really, really good anti-inflammatory. Avocados, they're really good because they're loaded with healthy fats. We'll talk more about fats later. Here's another one, red wine. There's a lot of good research on it. A glass is good for you. A bottle every single night might not be good for you. Red wine, the darker wine, not sweetened, or not the less sweet ones, drier, have more antioxidants. It's the resveratrol. Resveratrol oftentimes comes from the seed of the grape or the skin of the grape. Resveratrol is another antioxidant, good for your heart. Dark chocolate, that's the one, my favorite on that list. And olives, but dark chocolate also has a lot of antioxidants. The key with chocolate is dark chocolate. So the higher the percentage, you'll see like 65, 75, 85% cocoa powder. That's what you're looking for. We'll post this link to one of my new favorite things right now. It is a Lily's dark chocolate almond butter cup. So think Reese's, which was my favorite candy growing up. So think that, but a healthy version of it. So if you have a sweet tooth, like so many people do, whatever your sweet of choice was, you can find a healthier version for it. Hey, if you're watching this right now and you have done that, if you had something that you loved, it was cookies, it was almond joy, it was some sort of candy or sweet or dessert that you loved, but you've now found a healthier version of it, will you do me a favor and post that in the comments, please? Help us. We'll post the link to that Lily's dark chocolate peanut butter cup that I love as well. But if you've done that, help us. Post it in the comments. Let's help some people. So those are them right there. Olives, again, extra virgin olive oil and olives have a lot of good healthy fats. So get those into your diet. That's step number one. The heart healthy foods. Good food in. Here's number 2, fish oil. Fish oil. There are not too many supplements that I would say that you need to take every single day for the rest of your life. There are a couple. Vitamin D is one of them based on your blood work, and the other one is fish oil. EPA and DHA. If you are a vegetarian and you don't eat fish, there are vegetarian versions of EPA and DHA. But if you're not a vegetarian, I highly recommend fish oil from a very clean source. There's so much good research talking about hypertension and fish oil. This one study, I'll read it. It's out of the American Journal of Hypertension. This was from a few years ago, talked about the different publications talking about the effects of omega-3s. And so it talked about how it helped people. So in one of the studies, people who took it decreased by 4.5 millimeters of mercury. That's their systolic blood pressure. It decreased it by 4.5 points. And then the other number, which is the bottom number of your blood pressure reading, which is called diastolic, decreased that by 3 points just by taking EPA and DHA, which is fish oil. So fish oil is one of the best things that you can take to help lower hypertension and high blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure or know someone who does, I highly recommend getting on a good fish oil. Even the medical side, even medical doctors nowadays are telling their patients, hey, get on a fish oil. There are prescription versions of it, but honestly, you can find this stuff everywhere nowadays. There is one word of caution in the supplement world. My father used to say this all the time: you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for, which is true, especially in the supplement world. So with fish oil, there's only several companies that make fish oil. These two right here are just specific examples of fish oil that is made with a compound called ethyl ester. The way you'll know is if you take your fish oil and you cut one open and you put it on a styrofoam cup. If it eats through the styrofoam, then that is not good. It has a chemical in there called ethyl ester that is eating through the styrofoam, and you would want to avoid that for your digestive system. So getting a good fish oil is important. Just know the source of where it's coming from. I typically do not recommend getting supplements and vitamins from big box stores. A lot of times they have preservatives and chemicals and things that you normally would not eat and fillers in them. So the supplements, just get a trusted brand, one that you know. Obviously, we carry one in our office. This is the one that I personally use. There's other good brands out there. Nordic Naturals. Nordic Naturals is a really good fish oil brand. They have a lot of good stuff. This is the one we take. Fish oil is good for other things. Your heart, obviously, like we're talking about, decreasing high blood pressure. It helps to increase good cholesterol and decrease bad cholesterol, and it's also good for your brain and your joints. It helps to lubricate your joint, and your brain is made of fat. It's a compliment when someone says you're a fathead, but your brain is made of fat, and it helps to decrease your risk of things like dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, even while taking fish oil. It's why it is one of the 2 things that I highly recommend people take consistently. I just ran out recently, and I need to get some more. I'll be doing that today. So omega-3s. Here's the next one, number 3, eating more healthy fats. We talked about a few of these. Eating more healthy fats is a great way to help your heart and decrease your risk of heart disease. Remember this too, on the bottom, there's a large meta-analysis that talked about 350,000 participants, and they found no association between saturated fat and heart disease. There is a long-going myth that you're supposed to eat low fat. This is what we grew up on. If you're like me, y'all remember when we were a kid, we grew up in the low fat diet, like don't eat fat. So in our house, we didn't have butter. We had country crock. I can't believe it's not butter. Do y'all remember that? And what happened was we were eating chemicals and compounds because we were told fat makes you fat. We were told fat gives you clogged arteries and heart disease. So everyone stopped eating fat And now there's more obesity than ever. There's more heart disease than ever. There's more heart attacks than ever. Heart disease is still the #1 killer in the United States. And what we found out now decades later is it wasn't actually the fat. The fat wasn't the culprit that was causing all these heart issues. In fact, it was inflammation, which we're going to get to, specifically caused by the amount of sugar and grain that we were consuming. So fat is not the bad guy, but it's important to remember there are good fats and there are bad fats. There are good fats, there's bad fats. Here we go. I love this right here. Time magazine came out. This was a few years ago, and it talked about diet and lifestyle. They were more effective at preventing and treating heart disease than statins and stents. A stent is what they use to balloon open an artery. And the Time magazine title said, eat what? Butter. Eat butter. Scientists labeled fat the enemy. Why? They were wrong. It's why we've seen things like paleo start coming out, things like keto and the ketogenic diet, where it talks about eating more healthy fats, but the big key in it is you're eliminating processed foods, you're eliminating sugar, and you're eliminating carbs. Those 3 things caused inflammation, and you're replacing them with healthy fats. All your hormones are made of fat, your brain is made of fat. Fat is good to increase your good cholesterol and lower your bad cholesterol. Hey, this is great. Hey, Pearl, I love this. I made some chocolate-covered strawberries this weekend and used Lily's dark chocolate. Amen. Oh, yeah, because it was Valentine's Day. Awesome. But getting healthy fats into your body. This right here is what it looks like. This is an image of what it looks like when you consume too much sugar and processed grains and processed foods. That right there starts the process of inflammation in an artery, and then fat comes in to basically scab over the injury, and that causes clogged arteries. So it's not the fat that's necessarily the culprit, it's the inflammation, the processed foods, the sugar. So if you want to change your diet, I highly recommend following something like the paleo diet, something like the ketogenic diet. If you've done any of those, paleo diet, advanced plan, ketogenic diet, Whole30, will you do me a favor? Just comment in the comments section, and just if it's been helpful for you, or if you followed any of those plans. The Daniel diet is another good one. If that's been helpful for you and changed your health in any way, we'd love to hear from you. So that's number 3 right there. This is number 4, CoQ10. CoQ10. So CoQ10 is a heart antioxidant that your body makes. You can supplement with it to protect your heart. If you've had a heart attack, if you've had a stroke, if you suffer with hypertension, or if there is a history or a predisposition in your family for you to have heart issues, I recommend taking CoQ10. I personally will take CoQ10 off and on throughout the year. I'll cycle on and off of it. Again, my body makes some of its own, but I'll take it as a preventative. If you've had a stroke or a heart attack, I would recommend taking it every single day as an antioxidant. You can run a blood test to make sure, 1, you need it, and 2, you're not taking too much of it. So that's number 4, getting CoQ10, more of it into your body. You can find CoQ10 with a red yeast rice. So red yeast rice has been called Mother Nature's statin, and this is number 5. This is for people who have been prescribed a cholesterol-lowering medication, Lipitor, Crestor, anything that is a statin drug. This is for you. This is for you. One of the important things to remember, okay, is that drugs and medications, they come along with side effects. There can be a time and a place for medications for sure. But the reality is it doesn't fix the cause. If it fixed the cause, you wouldn't have to be on it the rest of your life. But one of these main side effects of a statin drug or a cholesterol lowering drug is muscle wasting, muscle deterioration. And it comes in the form of leg cramps and muscle cramps. If you've ever taken a cholesterol drug, and the number one side effect is muscle cramping and pain, that comes from the statin drug. It turns off the production of cholesterol, it turns off the production of protein, and it turns off the production of CoQ10. That's how a statin drug works. So yes, it will lower your cholesterol, but the problem is the side effects are muscle wasting and eliminates CoQ10. Why does that matter? Well, your muscles start to deteriorate. You start to lose muscle mass. That protein goes through your kidneys. And the second most common side effect of statin drugs is kidney issues. So the protein goes through your kidneys. You start to develop kidney issues. If it goes on for a long time, you'll start to see your kidneys deteriorate. And this is when people have to go on things like dialysis. You want to avoid this. So how do I naturally lower my cholesterol? Red yeast rice, I have seen, works better than any other supplement on the market. You want to do this with nutrition changes, with exercise, with eating better, but red yeast rice will help to naturally lower it. This is a research study. It was a 4 weeks, a trial of 4 weeks taking red yeast rice for people who could not tolerate statins. Their cholesterol decreased by 13%, and their bad cholesterol went down by 19% while taking red yeast rice. Amazing. Incredible. It's rice that is fermented with a yeast. You ingest the extract, and this stuff helps to naturally lower your cholesterol. I love it. Sherry, I'm so proud of you. 10 pounds and reduced your cholesterol by 23 points. Good job. It takes effort and energy, but it's baby steps in the right direction. And at the end of the day, you're worth it. You're so worth it. So if you're on a statin drug, I highly recommend taking CoQ10, and I highly recommend taking red yeast rice. You can talk to your doctor about it. You can talk to me about it, but you want to track your numbers. So you'll take red yeast rice, take it for a month or two, and then rerun your cholesterol numbers and see how they're coming down. At that point, you can have a conversation with your doctor of reducing your statin drug or your medication. The next one, we're talking about healing your heart, decreasing high blood pressure, decreasing hypertension, and decreasing high cholesterol. The next step is better sleep. Amen. Sleep is good for you. 7 to 8 hours is what you're looking for. Studies have shown if you're getting less than 6, you're more likely to have high blood pressure and other cardiac effects or issues. So you want to get good sleep. These are a couple basics that, as far as sleep hygiene goes, these are a couple basics that really help people. One, no blue light. So turn off all the lights in your house. I use a sleep mask is what I sleep with, and it smells like lavender, and it's so great. My wife got it for me for Christmas, and I love it. But as far as like computers and phones go, if you have an iPhone or an Android, use the setting that turns your phone orange when the sun goes down. If you don't know what that is and you have one of those phones, just shoot us a message. We'll show you how to do it. But there's what we know is when your eyes see blue light at night, it tells your brain that it's daytime and to stop making melatonin. And so you want to use the orange effect on your phone at night, but lights out, use a sleep mask. There's a couple other things that are helpful. This supplement right here called Sleep and Mood Formula, if you're someone who relies on melatonin, or if you're someone who, when you can't sleep, you take melatonin and it works, one of the better things that I would suggest is taking the precursor to melatonin. It's called 5-HTP. That's what Sleep and Mood Formula is. And so when you do that, you're giving your body the building block to make its own melatonin instead of just giving it to it. So that's another thing. Lavender oil. I'm a fan of essential oils. There are several good brands, doTERRA, Young Living, Dr. Axe has a good brand, Rocky Mountain Oils. I'm not trying to sit here and say which one is better and which one is worse. The ones I just named are good, pure brands. And so essential oils are helpful. Lavender oil has been shown to get your body into a parasympathetic or a calming nervous system state. And so applying it to your feet, you can rub it behind your ears, you can sniff it before bed. Like I said, my sleep mask has lavender essential oil in it. It's awesome. And the other one right here, the last one, magnesium. Magnesium is a soft tissue relaxer, and it also helps to calm the nervous system. So if you're someone who lays in bed and your mind just goes, and you're thinking about the next day and what you should have done or need to do, taking magnesium after dinner, sometime before bed, can actually really help to just downshift your body, calm your nervous system down, and you can get way better sleep. So if you struggle with sleep, try those things. It will also help your heart. Here's the next one, beets. Beets are a vasodilator. It means they open up your blood vessels. So think plumbing. They rotor-rooter. They open it up. They dilate it. So if you have high blood pressure or hypertension, your heart's pushing way too hard to try to get blood through your body. And so research has shown that beets taken consistently over time can be really good at vasodilating and increasing the vascular system and lowering things like high blood pressure. It also has something in it called nitric oxide. So for my athletes or people who are athletes, they've heard of nitric oxide. They'll take it as a pre-workout. They'll take it before they go to work out. And again, it helps their heart work more efficiently. So if it's good for athletes, it's good for you as well. Food first. I don't recommend beet supplements. Just try to do the real thing is what I would recommend. Some people juice them. Some people eat them pickled. Some people cut them up and put them in their salads. But beets are really good at being a vasodilator. Here's the next one. This one's really fascinating. It's called Bonito peptide. It comes from that fish right there. That fish is called a jackfish. A jackfish. You may see it on menus in the United States, but probably not often. It's a delicacy in Asia and in Japan. They eat this stuff all the time. But this Bonito peptide, it's part of the amino acid chain in the fish, is phenomenal at lowering blood pressure. And so when we look at the Japanese culture, the rate of heart disease is very low. There's one place in Japan, Okinawa, Japan, where they have the most centenarians per capita than almost any place in the world. Centenarians are people who are living to 100 years old or more in great health, meaning they're not on medications, they're not on a bunch of drugs, they don't have heart disease, they don't have cancer, they don't have high blood pressure. And so when we study these people, they oftentimes have a diet rich in healthy fats, rich in fish, and things like fish oil, which is EPA and DHA, and including this one, Bonito peptide, which helps the cardiovascular system and supports a normal blood pressure. So most likely you're not going to eat this fish all the time. It's honestly hard to find in the United States. We don't eat a lot of it, but you can take a supplement for it. This is BP support. You can find this one on our website. We'll post the link here below. If you're a patient in our office, you can find this in the clinic, but it's called BP, blood pressure support. And you just want to follow the instructions on it. And what you ultimately want to see is your blood pressure numbers come down. This is cool. You live there. I want to go there. That's amazing. Okinawa, Japan. Live there for 4 years. It is incredible. If you are inclined at all and you like reading, I would highly recommend opening up the book or getting the book Blue Zones. Or if you just Google Blue Zones, there's several, I think it's 7 places in the world that have the most amount of centenarians. Again, people who live to 100 years old or more. And it just asks them the questions. What did you do? What did you eat? What did your lifestyle look like? What did your community look like? And they find the common denominators for their lifestyle and for their health. Check that out, Blue Zones. It's fascinating, just quite fascinating. Here's the next one that'll be helpful for you. It's called box breathing. Let's do this one together. All right. Box breathing is a way to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest center. You can do this at any time of the day, but you should do it especially when you feel stressed out, when you feel triggered, if you feel anxiety, if you feel stressed from work or your boss or things didn't go as planned or you started your webinar late, something like that. No big deal. This is something that you can practice. It's called box breathing. So what we do is we're going to inhale as we count to 4. So go ahead, inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath for 4 seconds. And then exhale. And hold the exhale for 4 seconds. And then inhale. And that's called box breathing. So inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold that exhale for another count of 4. It gets a little tough. It gets a little hard. You'll feel your heart rate change, but what you're trying to practice is keeping your nervous system calm and holding on to that oxygen and making your heart work more efficiently. Give that a shot. Box breathing. It's really, really good to train your parasympathetic nervous system. It'll help that. Here's a couple bonuses. Number 1, vitamin D. I said this was one of the supplements I would take every single day. This stuff is amazing for your immune system. It helps to fight off. If you've seen any of the research that's come out recently about COVID and vitamin D, there is a very strong link for the people who are deficient in vitamin D having a very hard time fighting off COVID versus the ones who have a higher level of vitamin D, whether it's from the sunshine or because they supplement with it, they're able to get over a COVID virus faster. Why? Because their immune system is working at a higher capacity and a higher rate. So I highly recommend vitamin D for so many things, including cardiovascular health. Here's the deal. Get your blood tested for vitamin D. Next time you go to your doctor, write this down and remember this. Ask him or her to check your vitamin D3 levels. It is one of the easiest tests that you can do to see where your immune system's at, as well as heart health and brain health. So get your vitamin D levels tested. Really, really important. And then this is the virtual consult. One more time, if you have any questions on any of the information that we've gone over, click this link. I'd love to have a conversation with you and help you in any way I can. So remember those. Vitamin D. I love this. This is so important. This is huge. I mean, this stuff right here. So personally, when I had COVID a year ago, I did a high dose of vitamin D. My number is pretty good. I did a high dose of vitamin D, and it really helps your body bounce back, and it helps your immune system. So do that for your health. Remember the foods we talked through. Remember the healthy fats, things like fish oil, blood pressure support, CoQ10. I will end with this. I had this question recently. One of our patients asked for cardiovascular health. What are some of the things that I can be testing at my doctor on a routine basis? What blood tests can I do? Vitamin D3, get that tested. CRP, it stands for C-reactive protein. It is a blood test that measures inflammation for the cardiovascular system. That number should be very low. Get those tested. And the last one is called a cardio IQ panel. So think about a lipid panel or a cholesterol panel, but the best one you could ever find. It's called a cardio IQ panel. I run those 3 tests on myself every year right around my birthday, which is coming up in a few days. I run those tests every year on myself just to see where I'm at. I'm on the preventative side. I want to stay healthy. I want to be the cool grandpa. I want to be around for a long time. I want to love my family and my wife and my kids. I want to serve my patients for as long as I can, and taking care of my health and my life is one of the ways I'm going to do that. So next time you go to your doctor, ask those 3 questions or ask for those 3 blood tests. When you get the reports back, I'd be more than happy to look over them with you and give you some next steps and some ideas or things that I would do if there's anything that comes up on them. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it blesses you. I hope it helps your heart to heal and to work. I love you guys so much. We'll see you next time. This has been Dr. Nixon with Twin City Health.